Subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we want the children to love Allah.
Of course.
Now, we have the Book of Allah. And the Book of Allah is filled with stories that conveys values. You see, the Quran is the speech of Allah. And it's the final, basically, communication between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and earth. And the Quran, a lot of Muslims are not aware of how they should relate to it. They basically read it like they read any other book, which is not true. You know, if you buy any other book and you open it, you normally, the author, who's the author?
About the author.
Yeah, the introduction.
Right.
And maybe he will begin introducing his subjects in a sequence of events or whatever, a theory that he's presenting.
Right.
Until he develops something that we know by climax or something like that.
Right.
Whether you're happy, the book's supposed to make you happy, supposed to make you sad, and then at the end.
Right.
Then the book finishes. Then you go through the table of contents.
And
That's it.
you're
No, the
finished.
Quran is not like that.
Oh, it's not to be used like that.
No. The Quran is a speech.
Okay.
Kalamullah. Allah spoke this Quran. And you see, the Quran basically is a message that delivers different subjects in using different methods.
Okay.
Allah want to talk about Tawheed, for example.
Okay.
Then maybe he will use a parable. He will give you the message right away, straight. But one of the tools that we need for our children is the stories.
Excellent.
The third of the Quran is stories.
SubhanAllah.
Third of the Quran is stories. So how dare you, as a parent, Muslim parent, read to your child a story of Harry
Potter,
Powder, whatever it is, and Winnie the Pooh and
Yeah.
SpongeBob. And
All these guys, yeah.
When you have stories in the Quran that's real,
Right. Of course.
you see, right there. I mean, if we want to talk about empowering that generation, that's how they're going to fall in love with the Quran.
Right.
Imagine a child who was brought up with stories from the Quran.
Right.
My mother used to read to me that story before bed. You want to teach your child patience. Read to him the story of Job. And alhamdulillah, we have a lot of brothers and sisters who has maybe taken the work of Ibn Kathir and others. And they presented it, stories of the Quran.
Yes, I've seen this. This is very good.
In English, and in French, and in all languages.
Available for everyone.
And even for children.
Yeah.
Stories of the Quran for children.
And we have to do it. The Christians have done it with their books. We have to do it with ours.
Yeah, the ladder of Jacob, something like that.
Yeah, they had these things. We have to do the same.
I mean, come on. I mean, what kind? I mean, that is why when they are old, they don't want this disclose their character. But Muslims. Right. He was a Muslim. He was a believer in Allah, and all of this. So the Quran is the first tool, and all these characters. You see, at the end of the day, you want your children to love Allah, right?
Of course.
Yaqub loved Allah. Muhammad loved Allah. Musa loved Allah. Isa loved Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? So you're presenting to them characters of people who are lovers of Allah. But Winnie the Pooh or
Mickey Mouse,
lovers of who? Lovers
Nothing.
of who? You want to show to your children what these messengers went through for the love of Allah.
Yeah.
When you share with them, for example, the story of Ibrahim when he was stripped naked in front of the fire. For Allah, for La ilaha illallah. And at the end of the story, you tell them Allah will clothe him. You let them know that we're going to rise from beneath the ground naked. And the first one who will be given a garment will be Ibrahim. Ibrahim built a house for Allah in earth. Or the right word to use, he raised the foundation of the house of Allah, because the house always existed even before Ibrahim. Look at Ibrahim right now. He's placing his back to the house of Allah in the heavens. The Prophet ﷺ saw him, كما في حديث أنس في سنن الترمذي والبخاري ومسلم, that he saw him putting his back to the house of Allah. Allah has a house in the seventh heaven that 70,000 angels go to every day to do Hajj, and they never return to it. So you want to introduce those people to your child, in order to get them to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.